The question of the day is, how can I know if something is a sin?
1 John. Let's turn to 1 John near the end of the Bible.
Okay.
How can you know if something is a sin?
It's a good question.
That's a good question, and it shows a heart of somebody wanting to not sin.
Right.
Hopefully. And that is not being asked to try to justify something that they want to do, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, this is good. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4 can help shed some light on this. 1 John 3:4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So a good place to start would be the law, the Old Testament law, particularly the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. Great place to start.
Right.
If something transgresses the law, you know it is sin. Same book of the Bible, but chapter 5, 1 John chapter 5. Let's look over to verse 17. 1 John 5:17 says, all unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death. But he says all unrighteousness is sin, and that's worth considering. All unrighteousness is sin. So the thing that you're talking about or thinking about or considering, is it unrighteous? If it is,
Then it's sin.
it's sin. If it's a transgression of the law, it's sin. You know, there was a husband and a wife, and the husband was talking about a certain article of clothing, a certain shirt that he liked, you know, and his wife kind of wrinkled her nose and she said, are you sure that shirt is clean? And the husband said, I think it's clean. I mean, it looks clean. And the wife said, are you sure that shirt is clean right there? And he said, well, it's kind of doubtful, you know. And she said, well, if it's doubtful, it's dirty, babe. Right. You know, if it's doubtful, it's dirty. And I encourage you to take the same approach for sin, where you're considering some type of practice or a hobby or a behavior or relationship or something. If it's doubtful, it's probably what?
Sin.
Yeah, if it's doubtful, it's probably sin. Let's look in Romans 14, and you can see that spelled out in the Bible. The context of Romans chapter 14 is doubtful things and areas about which believers may have disagreements about, minor doctrinal areas or minor practical areas. Romans chapter 14. And after making several applications of that idea of what to do if something is disagreed upon between Christians or between believers or things like that, he sums up the passage by saying this in verse 23. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin. Somebody say, well, what's wrong with drinking? You know, what's wrong with drinking this? Well, what's wrong with it is you don't ask God to bless it before you do it. You know, before you take the 6-pack or the bottle, you say, Lord, bless this. I'm doing this for your glory. Throw it down. You know, nobody does that.
No.
You know, or you know, cigarettes. You know, take your cigarettes, light them up. Bless this, Lord. I'm doing this for your glory. You know, you're not doing it for His glory. It's preposterous even to think about. But when you're trying to figure out, is something a sin, is it unrighteous? Is it doubtful? The whole verse there, Romans 14:23, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of what?
Faith.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin. For example, if I had a chocolate chip cookie right here, if I did, wouldn't that be lovely? But if I did, now if I really believed in my heart that it was a sin if I ate this cookie, if I ate it, to me it would be a sin. If I really believed.
But you don't believe that.
Oh, I certainly don't believe that. But the same token, this same cookie, if you
Right.
had the cookie and you didn't think it was a sin to eat it, you went ahead and ate it, it'd be okay.
But it probably shouldn't eat it in front of you if you think it's a sin.
That is another wrinkle. Now, these things have to do with conduct between believers, and it's worth studying. But the thing is, how do I know if something's a sin? If it's doubtful, it's probably a sin. If you have a conscience about it, you probably want to be careful, because the Bible says all unrighteousness is sin.
Right.
Transgression of the law is sin. Whatsoever is not of faith is sin. You say, there are a lot of sins. Yeah, there sure are. Yeah, there sure are. Someone says, well, how do I know if you look at just another application, haircuts for guys in particular. You say, well, how long is too long? Well, if you have to ask, it's too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem, huh?
No, I don't. Whatever problems I may have, that's not going to be one of them. Hair is overrated, But yeah, that's right. So that's the answer to today's Bible question. We encourage you to like and subscribe and share this video. That will help us reach more folks and be a blessing to them also. If you have a Bible question, what should they do?
Leave a comment down below so that we can answer it for you. And also please like and subscribe.
And until then, the Lord bless you.